Are you sick of raking the leaves in your lawn, trying to get them into small piles and stuff them into paper bags? Well, I am too, and that's why I'm going to go over this DR lawn and leaf vacuum. This is the Pilot XTSP. It is a self-propelled model. It is going to make life easy, as it's going to suck up those leaves, chop them up, and put them in the bag for us, so we have very little work. Now let's get the legalities out of the way. This is a sponsored video by DR. They did give me this machine. They are not telling me what I can or can't say about it. My opinions are my opinions. They're not regulating to me as to how I would use this machine. So I'm going to show you exactly what it will do, what it won't do, how it does everything, so don't worry about that. This machine is powered by a DR 173cc engine that is a little over 4 horsepower. We can use this to chop up sticks. That will take them directly into the bag. Also 1.5 inch diameter maximum here. We'll walk you through that later. This is the vacuum portion up front. It is a plastic piece, so you can bounce it off trees, no issue. There is an adjustment. That's going to take it to its lowest setting, or we can take it up to its highest. You're going to adjust based on your yard and the situation with the leaves. We're going to put it in the center at this point in time. This is the muffler. Well, it's running. Keep your hands away from here. This is the oil fill that you have to put some oil in prior to using. So put a little over a half quart in and check it. Gas fill is up at the top. If the electric start did not work, you do have a pull start as a backup. On the opposite side of the machine, we do have an air filter here that is well worth looking at and checking, because we're chewing up leaves. That's going to make a mess over time. Make sure you keep that clean, or at least make sure it's clean annually. You have a choke here. Push it forward. It's in the choke position. You have an on and off switch. The center is on. If you push this all the way forward, it will start the engine. We have a bag holder on the side. It can hold up to 10 bags. This will take 30-gallon bags and will hold up to 50 pounds of leaves, and it will put them in here for us without issue. All we have to do is bring that bag up and around, kind of pull it over the top, and then we close everything here. That will hold that bag into place. We will fill it with leaves. Let's get started cleaning up this small area that is on a hill. Doesn't have a lot of leaves on it, but we'll get used to the machine, see what it'll do, and we'll move on to tougher and tougher areas of the yard. Now this area isn't very tough. There's not a lot of leaves, and we could have blown these leaves off very quickly, but in a very short time we picked them up, and you can see the difference between that side where we left it untouched and over here where we vacuumed everything up. It did an excellent job. It chewed them up quite well when you actually look at what's inside the bag. Beyond that, we had a chance to try out the shredder that's going to take care of 1.5 inch wood, and we were able to put some through there. That's not going to suck the wood in like some other dedicated shredders would do, but at the same point it does a great job with it. Chews that up wonderfully. Let's move on to something that is going to be a little more difficult for this machine. So we moved on to an area that has a lot more leaves, and one that is less dense with grass. And it did a wonderful job picking up the first couple rows, and then it seemed to stop. But the reality of what was happening was that it was actually packed full. We'd fill the bag right to the top, and it needed to be emptied. The good news is, even if that happens to you, as long as you turn the engine off and everything is safe, you can pull the bag out, empty it, and then clean out the leaves in the top very easily. You can put your hand in there a little bit, grab them out. When you start this unit back up, it will clear the rest of the leaves. You can knock on this tube a little bit if you'd like. The leaves seem to clear fairly easily. We've moved on, continued to get the rest of that, and it picked up everything really well, and it actually has enough power to suck up the acorns that are in there, because this is mostly oak leaves that are on the ground, and it cleaned that up excellent. We could even go over parts of the asphalt driveway, clean that up, amazing. Moving on, there's another area that's again right next to our driveway along the woods that's collecting a lot of leaves at this point in time. I just wanted to clean that up quick. Again, a little bit thicker, not to the point where you're piling up 2, 3, 4 inches of leaves, but This thing rolled through it, and believe it or not, we filled up another bag in that small area. Again, testing this out to say, can we pull leaves off of asphalt? And the reason I'm doing that is because if you want to purchase this machine, you can use this as a replacement for your blower. So if you wanted to go up your sidewalk, you want to go down the side of your driveway and pick up the leaves and put them in a bag right off the bat so you can take them right out to the curb, you have no issue doing that. A blower is technically no longer needed for this. You don't need to have a rake, and it can be used on hardscape. Things that I would note when I'm using the machine: turn the engine off every once in a while and push the leaves down. You can fit a lot more in the bag, and you can see here we are full, and that doesn't take much because it's hard to realize the amount that you're putting in the bag so easily. And if you just open this up, push it down a little bit, you can actually go through and get more leaves in if you'd like. Now, you can't go too full because, as you can see, I wrapped this around. You still have to be able to get this bag out. So where I'm at this point is pretty much the max. Pulling the bag out, super easy, super easy. You can push this down, do whatever you'd like here. And if you smush them down, you can continue to put more and more in. It's just a matter of how much can you compact the leaves that are going in. Now, the machine does a fairly good job of it. In some cases, you'll see some of the larger leaves that are dry. They're not getting fully chopped up, but for the most part, it's doing quite well. Well, if you're anything like me, you're thinking it does a great job. It can replace my blower, but I have to store this thing 10 and a half months a year, and that's not that big of a deal. The plate on the bottom that holds the bag pushes up. That will get right out of the way. There are knobs on the side, each side, so that you can adjust this handle. So if you're shorter, taller, you can get it to the place you'd like, make it comfortable. This can roll basically right over. Now, there is a small piece that is stopping me from moving across it right here, but that's not a problem. You can get past that, just loosen it a little further. That will allow you to angle these forward. When you do so, you can then lift up this bagger attachment, and everything is going to be pretty vertical right here. If you really wanted to, you could remove this, push it forward. It's not necessary because you can actually use this to hold other lawn equipment in the straight up, or brooms, anything like that. Find what you have and use it to store other things. So this stores pretty much out of the way. Overall, for the person who needs to bag leaves, I think this thing is absolutely amazing. Can take the place of a blower if you'd like to. It also saves you a lot of time bending over to try to get the leaves in this bag, no matter what equipment you buy, either those big claws to put them in here. It's no fun. And with this, just picking things up and filling bag after bag after bag after bag, you start to appreciate what this machine does. It simply fills bags for you and makes it fun to do. Now, wear your hearing protection, wear eye protection, wear some gloves, especially if you're going to use the wood chipper. I think that's very important. You don't want that piece of wood getting pulled out of your hand and getting a sliver. You don't want it coming back and hitting you, and just be safe. But with that said, I think this is a great piece of machinery for that person who wants to fill bags, get them out to the curb, and get them gone. So if you're taking care of your landscaping, this is a great machine to have. As I said, storage is easy. The price is not too bad for what you get. At the end of the year, clean it up. Make sure that everything's clean, leaves are taken off of it, store it properly. Again, there's some great tips in the owner's manual. You can simply open that up, follow that. And again, if you follow those tips in the instruction manual, you will have no problem storing and starting this the next season. It does say to use E10 or 10% ethanol or less. For me, I'm using rec fuel, and I'll put a stability product in the fuel in order to help that not get stale over time or collect water. Either way, amazing machine if you're looking at it. If you're interested in this leaf and lawn vac, you can visit drpower.com and look at more information and more models that they have. You can also purchase yours today at drpower.com. Questions below. I'll leave a link to this in the description. I'll have a little bit more information on specs in there. If you have any questions, leave them. Give us a like in this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.